Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. This is my April Spellbinders kit and my April Altenew kits. You know that it's May now, so I'm coming to you late with these videos. Usually they're two separate videos. However, due to life changing around here, I am going to go ahead and combine these. I will do the unboxing of these together and also use the products combined together to create a project today. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Spellbinders kit. I really liked this particular product, which is their press and foil plate, as well as it comes with that and some foil in one kit option, and then it goes really well with this second kit option, which is their small die of the month. It's little pansies, and as you can see on the back of that sneak peek, those combos can create what looks kind of like a seed packet scene. And then this 3D embossing folder is wood grain, and I tried making some of my own wood grain planks for my Altenew kit in the previous month, so that might be something I could use so I don't have to DIY everything. Speaking of Altenew, this is my kit for, I said April, but this is technically the May kit, and I'm really enjoying the lamp and table, and I have an idea. I went ahead and pre-made some pieces off camera. This is foiled with that press and foil plate. I used the die from the Altenew kit to do some foiling. Yes, you can use dies. There are tips and tricks, which I'm not going to go into in this video, but just know that you can, and tips and tricks are out there. I did do some stamping. I won't end up using those pieces. I did use the embossing folder on a nice basic brown wood, so it looks like wood grain. I pre-cut the table and the lamp and a whole bunch of flowers, as well as just this piece from the flower die set, because I'm going to use these pieces in a way that you wouldn't expect to use them. I'm also going to use parts from the lamp, and I don't end up using the blue. Well, I end up using the lamp pieces in a slightly different way. So you'll see as we get to scene building here. I am going to make a scrapbook layout, a his and hers two-sided kind of split scrapbook layout using these, and I'm going to do some scene building with all of the components from my kits. Now this photo had some distracting stuff in it, so I cut that out, but there's a window behind the bed in the photo, so I'm going to recreate a window scene using all of those pieces I already showed you. I did want to physically split the photo to kind of represent the his and hers split idea. I am thinking about how I want to map that photo to kind of both leave it split and make it cohesive at the same time. Hopefully that will make sense when we get later into the process. In the meantime, I want to gut out the center of this hot foil piece because I want to create my own window frame. So I tried a couple of different products first, and what worked best was a square die set. This is the nesting die set from Spellbinders. I will link you up to any of these products if you are interested. Now, that doesn't complete the entire square, but after I die cut one pass, I can shift the die, carefully lining it up so that it can cut out the remainder, that little sliver of a remainder, and now I have a frame. To make it even more frame-like, I just cut strips of paper to put a cross piece in there so it looks more like a window frame. I am kind of messing around with some of the other pieces, thinking about how I want to do this flow. My plan is to create curtains and a valance to put around this window frame, so I'm keeping the scene idea going. Here I am practicing on a piece that I already created, but I'm not loving the colors. I was practicing with yellow and peach, and nothing was working, so I went ahead and moved on. Now I cut a hole through that brown wall section. It wasn't necessary because I am going to back my window with blue to make more of a sky look out the window, and I'm going to arrange some flowers on that blue so that you kind of see a scene out the window. So ignore the hole that I cut in that brown piece. Once I've got everything adhered together, and I did use some foam tape to kind of add depth, you can see a shadow onto those flowers through the window. I am starting to size everything and make sure it's going to work how I have it. See, I didn't actually glue everything down together yet, but at this point I have. And I figured out what I wanted to do color-wise. I decided to go with a white pattern paper, which is stamped with a very light gray-brown color that's called Pebble from Concord and Ninth, and onto the white, and that creates this kind of creamy color looking curtain, and I think that's going to work perfectly to go with the other colors that I have that are more poppy on this scene. So I've got that bright blue lamp, I've got those nice purple flowers in the background, so I think framing it out with the white curtain is going to help. Now my valance piece wasn't quite long enough. I could have made it longer by gluing a couple pieces together, but I didn't, so I am fixing it by scrunching up the curtains at the top, and now my valance will fit, and I'm really happy with how this scene is coming out. It has been fun to get this all to work together, and it's got some depth and dimension, and I'm liking it. All right, moving on to my lamp. I created a light bulb with that yellow lamp that I cut out. So here is an example. I took that centerpiece of the yellow lamp, cut off the base, and then curved it more with my scissors, and that created a light bulb shape that I could then glue on top of the blue lamp. And then remember, I had that the vellum that I hot foiled with the die that would normally cut out the lampshade. I am going to add some Copic marker to the back of this. Any alcohol or even water-based marker actually will work on vellum. I'm gonna do it on the back side so that I get more of a soft glow from that, and when you flip it over you can see the glow through the vellum, so that is a fun technique. I'm gonna put glue onto my light bulb and smear it so that there's not just one glob of glue that will show through the vellum. If you put an even coat over the surface, it will quote-unquote hide the glue. It will just be so spread out evenly that you won't even notice the glue. I'm going to add some ink blending onto my table, namely this piece is the back, so those legs will be in the shadow, and then the piece with just two legs is in the front, and I'm going to use a brayer to just very lightly roll some ink over the embossed detail on that, so help that detail stand out a little bit more. And I will give you a close-up here in a second, and there you go, you can see that embossed detail. So I will get all that layered up, glued together, and into my scene. The rest of my layout is going to be fairly simple because I put all of my embellishing energy into creating that scene up there. I did have these two color strips that are going to hold my title and create more of that split design that I'm looking for with the his and hers motif going on, and I chose colors that, you know, my husband and I each like. I've got my title cut out. I'm going to give them detail with that embossing folder just to bring in a little bit more oomph to things. I did have to tape them down so they didn't slip and slide on me, but here you can see the wood grain detail that my letters now have. I won't show you me gluing everything together, but really there's not much to it besides getting those letters glued down. I did go ahead and map my photo on black. That creates the cohesiveness I was looking for, but still realizing that that photo has been split apart to emphasize the his versus hers. I did cut out some extra layers of cardstock to add more layer and detail to this layout. This cardstock is all from Spellbinders, and I will link you up to things below. The final step for me is to add some place for my journaling, and I'm going to create that across my window scene because kind of continues the look of maybe shutters or wallpaper, and I do have to get my journaling on there, but I will do that off screen. So let's go ahead and take a close-up look at all these details and the texture and layer that I'm getting from these products. And I had a great time with this layout. I will say thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed something about this process video, and I will be back soon with more crafty goodness for you.